Keen festival goers will have been eagerly awaiting more information about Glastonbury 2025. Glastonbury is almost undoubtedly the UK's largest music festival, offering festival goers the opportunity to camp and see some of the biggest musical acts this country has to offer, and also many big acts that come in from abroad. So some of the information they will have eagerly awaited has been announced by the festival organisers. They have announced when tickets will go on sale, and they have announced how much a ticket will set you back should you wish to go for the whole weekend. The Daily Mail writes, Glastonbury 2025 ticket sale date and prices revealed, with huge pop stars rumoured to be headlining. Now, there's a little bit of a red flag in there for me. Huge pop stars. Typically, my idea of a festival headliner would be a big band, someone who can fill a stadium, someone who can fill the size of Glastonbury, and someone who can send off each night with a bang. So the mention of huge pop stars might ring alarm bells for those people who are true festival fans. The article states that the stakes are even higher than normal, as 2026 will be a fallow year, meaning the festival will not go ahead. Basically, because Glastonbury is held on farmland, every 5 years or so they basically have a year off where they allow the land to regenerate and to recuperate. So the stakes really are high, and they're made even higher by the fact that a full admission ticket is going to set fans back nearly £400 for the weekend. So for that we can really expect some huge names, particularly on the main stage and particularly as headlining acts. And whoever these headline acts are, they certainly have got big shoes to fill. Going back to the very first Glastonbury Festival in 1970, which was headlined by T-Rex, actually who replaced the Kinks, also an amazing band. Since then, we've had headliners such as David Bowie, Hawkwind, The Smiths, Echo and the Bunnymen, Elvis Costello, The Cure, Happy Mondays, and putting it a bit more up to date, Oasis, Pulp, Blur, Radiohead, The Prodigy, The Chemical Brothers, Coldplay, Rod Stewart, The Stereophonics, Arctic Monkeys, White Stripes, Coldplay. The list goes on and on and on. Right up until recently, where even in 2023 we were treated to the Arctic Monkeys, Elton John and Guns N' Roses, although the Guns N' Roses performance was indeed fairly widely maligned, as we expected it to be. So it's really important that these massive shoes are filled by someone worthy of the Glastonbury headline slot. And I think this is all the more important considering that people will be buying these tickets in effect blind. They are buying music festival tickets without actually knowing who they are liable to end up seeing. So the rumours of headline acts might play quite an important part as to people's decision as to whether or not to shell out nearly £400, and that's before the astronomical costs of transportation and food and drink whilst on the site. Sorry to interrupt the video very quickly. If you're not already subscribed, please just hit that subscribe button. It's completely free. There'll be no hard feelings if you change your mind at a later date. At the moment, only 5% of people who watch my videos regularly are actually subscribed. So let's change that around a little bit. Hit that button and it'd be greatly appreciated. It helps me more than you know. There'll also be a link in the description down there if you want to buy us a beer. But for now, back to the video. The lineup is yet to be revealed, but reportedly Harry Styles is being eyed by Glastonbury bosses to headline next year's festival, as he makes a sensational return to live music. This guy. This is the man to fill the shoes of Oasis. This is the man to fill the shoes of Radiohead. This is the man that is going to fill the shoes of the Foo Fighters as a headline act at Glastonbury. Now look, this is nothing personal against Harry Styles. Now I know very little of his music and it's fairly safe to say that he has quite a substantial fan base across the world. Now again, this is no offence to Harry, but his inclusion doesn't feel quite in keeping with the vibe we expect from Glastonbury. Of course, he's made headlines for his extravagant outfits, his carrying of handbags, etc. But again, I won't hold this against him personally. This is more likely a decision made by his stylist or by his publicist, which he probably had very little input in, to be completely honest. But that, again, is a problem. We are looking here at someone who is a manufactured pop star, as the headline of this article alluded to. A manufactured pop star rather than a field-filling, a stadium-filling band, which most avid music lovers would come to expect from a festival such as Glastonbury. Another, dare I say, pop artist who's been tipped and very likely to headline Glastonbury 2025 is Ed Sheeran. Now, again, no offence to Ed Sheeran. Ed Sheeran actually is quite a local lad around here, and anyone I know who's met him has said he's a really great guy. He's obviously a very talented songwriter. He's written songs for a huge amount of different artists. He sells out arenas. He is a very popular guy, and he's a very talented musician. However, I don't think it's beyond the pale to suggest that he is not a Glastonbury headliner. Mr. Sheeran himself had said, when he headlined a previous Glastonbury festival alongside Radiohead and Foo Fighters, that he felt a bit out of place. This isn't to say there isn't a place for these musicians and these, dare I say, pop artists at the Glastonbury Festival. And there's a lot of stages and a lot of time to fill. However, putting these people as headline acts is surely doing a disservice to hardcore Glastonbury and hardcore festival goers. That being said, it does feel like the whole vibe of Glastonbury has changed significantly over recent years. Yes, there's arguments that for decades it has been very much a commercial entity. However, this is becoming more and more apparent as every Glastonbury Festival comes and goes. It is getting increasingly filled with influencers, people who just take photos, as it becomes the place to be seen. It is also become increasingly family friendly, something which was probably not even considered when T-Rex headlined the festival right back in 1970. So maybe the landscape of festivals is changing. No, maybe it's no longer about headline bands. Maybe it's no longer about true music lovers. Maybe it's now an all-encompassing, family-friendly event with pop stars headlining the stages instead. However, I think it will be a terrible loss for music. After all, I don't think their lack of inclusion would necessarily do Harry Styles or indeed Ed Sheeran any particular harm. It's not like they're short of a fan or two or a bob or two, is it? Stay safe and stay sane, everyone.